Looking at development of technology in the field of autonomous deliveries, we observe that much has already been done. Robots are increasingly intelligent and resistant to disruption.
If we talk about realistic scenarios in 5 years, there will be sidewalk robots or robot dogs. They would have the separate lanes for the robot, and that would be a great thing. Before I started Delivery Couple, I founded the food delivery app, like Uber Eats, but local here in Lublin. We gained around 70 restaurants, we had around 3,000 deliveries monthly, but we noticed that it's hard to compete on the market when there are already many of them. We looked at the other side of this market, logistics side, and it turned out there are not many actually inventions which came up and solved the problems. The restaurateurs, they have everyday problems with deliveries. The biggest challenge for the restaurateur is not preparing the food, but to deliver it to the customer.
Parcel deliveries, especially those with food, are mainly about speed. Delivery must be made quickly and efficiently. Is it possible for a robot to ensure quick delivery? Probably yes, but several conditions would have to be met. Currently, Polish law does not even provide a clear definition of courier service. Courier companies conduct their services partly on the basis of postal regulations and partly on the basis of transport regulations. Autonomous or semi-autonomous robots are traffic participants, and the rule for their participation in traffic should be defined.
It took a time to define the rules for the robot, how the robot should behave when there are a lot of the people. We don't want to put the people even in bad moods because they just stepped on the robot or something. We put the red light on top of the flag of the robot so that it's visible for the pedestrians and it solved the problem. That's why robot is semi-autonomous. What does it mean? That one person controls a few robots at the moment. We do not allow at the moment robot goes by itself via crosswalk. Once robot notices the crosswalk, it stops, then it calls remote operator. Remote operator see a few robots at the same time. Remote operator drives the robot through the crosswalk and makes sure everything is safe.
Perhaps, ultimately, it would be worthwhile to designate lanes for robots and in these lanes eliminate curbs and provide a relatively even surface. The key factor that can effectively prevent collisions is the social factor, which means mutual understanding and friendly attitude towards robots by other traffic participants.
Delivery Couple is about Matthew and Katie, and when people see it, they smile. Oftentimes when the robot is for some time in the city, and it drives to some people and they, oh, hi Matthew. They already know the character of the robot. And that's actually a very important thing.
W pierwszej chwili byłem bardzo zdziwiony, ponieważ dostałem telefon od właśnie firmy, że przywiezie mi jedzenie robot. Byłem bardzo zadowolony, pizza przyjechała ciepła. Technologia idzie do przodu, także cieszę się, że mamy takie roboty. Myślę, że to jest jakby nasza przyszłość.
Robots can be an effective support for existing forms of delivery, such as electric cars or cargo bikes. I think that in the future we will talk about cooperation between humans and robots in last-mile deliveries rather than the robots replacing humans.
I believe that robots will be a great part of the future cities. Robot drives from A to B. It's not the problem to collect some data to understand the infrastructure, but it could be a valuable thing for the government as well. So simplified deliveries, cheaper, faster, better, plus cities would be happy because they have more control in terms of what's happening around some areas and what needs to be fixed in terms of air quality, infrastructure, and so on.